Didn't work for 20 years.
Which you absolutely did.
Absolutely. I said, I put it in quotes, you didn't work.
Right.
But now you're trying to re-enter the workforce. So I'm real interested and appreciate you taking the time to talk about this.
You know, I was kind of on autopilot. You know, you take care of your family. There's a lot that's involved with that. And it probably wasn't until my oldest was getting ready to go to college that it all of a sudden dawned on me that, you know, my kids are older. They really don't need me. What in the world am I going to do? And how in the world am I going to stay challenged and interested and kind of excited about life? So I went through a tough time. You know, I didn't immediately think about going back to medicine, which might seem strange to some people. I even contemplated opening a panini shop, which my husband thought I was nuts. But at that point, I had kind of exceeded the time that you can take to be out. So I had to retake my pediatric boards. And I think that's when it kind of gelled for me when I started studying again. I kind of set myself a goal that I was going to study for an hour or so a day for about a year and then sit and take the boards again. And they are big exams. So when I started studying again, you know, I got excited again. I mean, I went into medicine because I love biology, I love people, I love the science. You know, there's so much that's so fascinating about it. And so when I started studying and kind of relearning things I'd already learned, it made sense to me then. And so I, you know, powered through that year. You know, I studied every day. I enjoyed studying. It was fun. Took my boards and thankfully I passed them. And then I contacted People's Community Clinic, which is where I still work.
Did you feel like Rip Van Winkle?
Primary care is kind of well suited to that. To be honest, even in 10 years, a lot had not changed. I mean, some of the antibiotics maybe changed a little bit, but overall, primary care still was very similar. The babies that I started seeing 10 years ago, now they're young children. So that part is also very gratifying, you know, growing with families.
You get to watch them grow up?
You do. And it's so, and seeing their families, you know, how they've changed, the things they've been through. Yeah, that is really special. You know, I practiced, I think, for 3 or 4 years, which is just when, you know, practicing full time, you're starting to feel a little more confident. You've gained, you know, a certain amount of experience. You just start having some more solid expertise. So when I came back, especially with the gap, I felt like even though I was an older woman and people perceived me as someone older, I was actually a very young physician. And so that evolution in your life as a physician, where you kind of transition to someone who is new and learning and inexperienced, to someone who does feel like they have some confidence, has seen a lot, that has been, I think that's been one of the most gratifying things for me in my second round of medicine, is to feel that I'm coming into that stage.
What do your kids think of this?
I think my kids are pretty proud of me, and I do think that they kind of take to heart that there is a way to craft your life. That, you know, if you have things you want to do and they are priorities in your life, then you will figure out how you arrange your life around those priorities. And so, you know, my priority was my family, so I got to do that. And then medicine became my priority again. You know, I think that's one of the keys to staying vibrant in middle age is, as you were saying, finding those things that, you know, you learn again, you're excited about them, you get over that hump and you get into this area of where you're learning and getting somewhere with something new in your life. I think that keeps, I mean, it's definitely good for the brain. And the other aspect to all this that I think is really important to add is if you are, you know, if you have a significant other, or you're married, whatever, I think it's so important that you know, keep bringing something to the table. And I think a lot of people hit middle age and they've been so involved with, you know, the raising of their families and their kids that they haven't tended to themselves, they haven't tended to each other. And suddenly, you know, they get there, there's this empty house, you're with your spouse who you've, you know, been with for whatever decades. And a lot of people get to that point and they don't really know that person anymore. They don't have a lot to share with that person anymore. So I think staying dynamic in your own life just brings a lot more to that table and is good, is healthy for your relationship. Now, I joined a board of a school here in Austin called Mainspring. I'm not pushing Mainspring, but it's a very special place. It provides preschool education for about 100 kids. Most of them are on scholarships. They are, needy and disadvantaged kids. But anyway, and Mainspring is 80 years old this year. And so I'm now on the board and they're doing big things for the 80 years. So I figured I would combine my swimming with the celebration. So my contribution was to swim 80 miles in 80 days for the 80 years of Mainspring.
Christina, tell me a little bit about People's Community Clinic, where you work.
So People's Community Clinic is a federally qualified health clinic. Its mission is to provide a high quality, compassionate care to the underserved of Austin. So, I'm a pediatrician there, but People's offers, full service. We have adult medicine, we have women's health, we have adolescent medicine, and we have pediatrics. We have, the idea is if a patient comes to People's, it's kind of their medical home. This concept of if a patient comes there, for instance, in pediatrics, if we have a young mother come, she needs lactation help, we have a lactation consultant. If, there are child rearing issues, we have child life consultants. If you have an issue with your landlord, we have legal services where you can, consult our legal department. If you have trouble with negotiating, your health care, and most of our patients are Medicaid or CHIP, we have financial counselors. We really offer a huge, wide range of services to all our patients. I think all of our providers who are there are very dedicated, good physicians. They obviously have made a choice to practice at a place like People's Community Clinic. And I truly think that our patients get excellent care. A lot of people might think a clinic like that might not offer top-level care. I don't feel that way. I mean, our kids, if they need to see any specialist, we get them there and we get them there fast. I'm proud of the kind of medicine we practice there. I really am.